Wish you very good night. Thanks everyone to join us. Me, MD Shoaibul Islam, Banglafair Solution Limited. We Banglafair Solution Limited joint venture IT company with Japan. We are working in education ERP since 2013. We have now 50 plus satisfied clients all over the country. So I want to request you to turn off your microphone. Now I will request our honorable CEO and founder of Banglafair Solution Limited, Major Dr. MD Tawfiq Rahman, to say a few words about data science project.
সবাইকে আমি বাংলাফেয়ার সলিউশনের পক্ষ থেকে শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি আমাদের আজকের এই ওয়েবিনারে জয়েন করার জন্য। তো ডাটা সায়েন্স বিডিটা আসলে আমাদের একটা জয়েন্ট কোলাবোরেশন উইথ কেএসআই ডাটা রিসার্চ, এটা কানাডিয়ান বেস কোম্পানি এবং ওনাদের ইউএসএ তো ওনাদের অ্যাক্টিভিটি আছে। তো কেএসআই ডাটা রিসার্চ ইট ইজ লিডেড বাই আমাদের খন্দকার আর ইসলাম। উনি বাংলাদেশের ঢাকা ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে পড়াশোনা শেষ করে দীর্ঘ 30+ ইয়ার্স ইজ ইন ইউএসএ এন্ড কানাডা। তো উনি এখন ডাটা সায়েন্সের এক্সপার্ট এবং বাংলাদেশের একজন প্রতিভাবান ইউএসএ এবং কানাডিয়ার বেশ কয়েকটা গ্লোবাল লিডিং কোম্পানিতে উনি জব করেছেন 18 ইয়ার্স প্লাস ইন ডাটা সায়েন্স। উনি এমএইচ করেছেন হাওয়ার্ড ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে ইন ওয়াশিংটন ডিসি এন্ড অ্যাডভান্স ডাটা সায়েন্স রূপে ডিপ্লোমা উইথ ওরাকল, এটা মাইক্রোসফট সার্টিফাইড ফ্রম সিবিসি ইন কানাডা। এবং উনি কারেন্টলি উনি আমাদের এই বিজনেস ইন্টেলিজেন্স উপরে ইনস্ট্রাক্টর হিসেবে ওখানে কাজ করতেছেন। আমরা রিয়েল টাইম ডাটা অ্যানালিটিক্স, রিয়েল টাইম প্রোডাকশন অ্যানালাইসিস, তারপরে হেলথ সেক্টর, এরকম কিছু সেক্টরে আমরা ক্ষুদ্র পরিসরে হলো R&D করে কাজ করতেছি। তো আমি সবাইকে বিনীত রিকোয়েস্ট করবো যে ইসলাম ভাই অনুষ্ঠান শেষ পর্যন্ত আপনারা থাকবেন এবং বাংলাফেয়ারের পক্ষ থেকে আপনাদেরকে শুভেচ্ছা। এনি কোয়ারি, এনিথিং, ডেফিনেটলি উইল হেল্প ইউ। আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করছি। Now I will request খন্দকার ইসলাম to say his part. Thank you very much.
All right, so I'll take from here. As you can see, I just shared my first screen here. See, if you have any question or if you cannot see or if you cannot listen, you can also raise your hand or you can just say, I will try to do it accordingly, okay? So we'll fix it if there is any issue. If you can see this screen, the first screen, I just put it over here, the overview of data science. And under the data science, there are a number of tools here. You can see SQL, Power BI, Excel, MS BI, Python. Maybe you know few of them, maybe you don't know any of those. So I'm going to think that you guys don't know anything. So I will talk that. So what is data science? What is inside this first bracket? You can see the BI. What are those subjects? I mean, why you are come here today, why you wanted to know, what you wanted to know, everything you need to understand in order to join or come to this course. No, like when you says to data science, what is this BI? BI also stand for business intelligence. What is business intelligence? Business, a person can do the business with intelligence. That intelligence, if I give you just like an example, business intelligence. Say for example, you are doing business and then you don't want to make a decision based on your instinct. No, you wanted to make a decision based on the data and then you will be successful. So nowadays, every company around the world, they make a decision for their business according to their data. Whatever the data says, they make a decision based on that. So that's why business intelligence comes from that part. So, and then data science. Data science is a big umbrella. You can say it's an umbrella word, and all these subjects under this data science. So once you know the SQL, that means you very basic, you learn how to manipulate the data. You have a loss of data and you wanted to handle the data, how to manipulate the data. So that is the very beginning of that. Then Power BI for visualization. So Excel is a lot of people already know the Excel, but Excel, advanced Excel, you can do so many things with the advanced Excel. MS BI is called Microsoft Business business intelligence. Okay, there are 3-4 tools based on that. That's are all under the data science. So Python also you do work with a different data set, though, and then you go towards the machine learning. So all this subject, if you learn, so what you're gonna, you don't have to learn all these tools over here. If you know a couple of tools from here, so you could be data scientist. If you know Python and if you know SQL, then and Power BI, then you would be the data scientist. So data scientist, what they do? Data scientist, say for example, when a person like a machine learning, you know, like a what is machine learning? What is AI, artificial intelligence? These are the buzzword you can always heard, but you have to have a very clear idea what is this for. Say for example, if you can think of when a baby is growing up, what happened? Like we teach them how to get up in the morning, how to you brush your teeth, how go to the school. You slowly grow up and learn everything. Machine learning is same thing. You give machine to the loss of data and he start to learning when to get up, when to go this, when to do this. Similarly, see, like, you know, you heard that the car without the person, the car will be driving on the road. Can you imagine that? How you can think? You can think, okay, how it is possible? It's nothing but that's a car is a machine, and then you teach them the data and he learn when to stop, when to do this, when to do that. So everything about the data. So that's why the SQL at the beginning, and you learn how to handle the data. If you wanted to go in this path, you have to learn the SQL at the first. And then you learn all the slowly you grow yourself. Anyway, so I just give a lot of introductory at the beginning. So let's talk about next slide. So actually here is something, it was created by our one Shohidul, and this one actually I created for my Canada and America's flyer. He did a very good job. So these are the subjects over here I'm teaching in data analytics, data scientist. Under the data analytics, there would be SQL, Power BI, advanced Excel, data warehouse, MSBI, and data scientist would be similar with the added is a Python, artificial intelligence. And this is for actually here in US and Canada. Okay, so for Bangladesh people, so person who like to get helps, if you wanted to come and join with us, you will get help with many different ways. Not only you learn the course, we will try to provide all the way your success. Okay, so like you get the jobs, not if you wanted to come outside the country or if you wanted to stay in the country. So then how we can help you, will make your resume like a world market standard, so that your resume you can apply anywhere in the world. You can sitting in Bangladesh, you can work in US, Canada. If your resume is a perfect and if you are really knows the stuff, you can get a job by sitting in US, in Bangladesh, and then you can work anywhere in the world nowadays, because is the COVID makes it easy for this also now. And there are all the way you will get Canadian certificate after you complete my course, and those people's their family is 18 years or less. If they wanted to Canada, I can help you as well in a different way. So you will get all kinds of help, support from us if you join with us. This is the slide. And then since we are talking about the data science, first we have to understand the data, we have to understand the database, and then what are the branches of those are the very basic. You have some idea. So you can see over here, every day we are generating millions of data. How? You just think of you and I sitting at home, you are using Facebook all the time, or you are going to the bank and doing some transaction, and then you are also going to the grocery buying stuff. So everything now we are constantly generating data. As you can see, to 2020, every 60 seconds, how much data we made. You can see there is like a graph. You can see like here is a millions of Google, Facebook, marketing, anything you can see over here. Those are all millions of data was generating every 60 seconds. And those data, we have two types of data. One is structured data, another is unstructured data. What are the structured data? The data you are, say for example, going to the bank and going to the grocery. When you scan your item, that time you are creating the structured data because those data in a table format. But when you are writing in a Facebook or in a chatting, that time you are generating unstructured data. That unstructured data can be converted to the structured data as well. Okay, so if you can see, let me put it in annotation here. So these are the structured data and these are the unstructured data. And when you do the in a table format, it is structured data, and then unstructured data is when you do the chatting and all kinds of Facebook chatting, those are unstructured data. So you can see here how the data is growing every day. And if you think about the person, you see the name, age, height, everything is the data. Actually, everything is a data. Your picture also is a data. So that's why the data becomes so important, because there are millions of data is generating, and then that data was using for everything. Actually, if you think about the AI, artificial intelligence, that is China is #1 in the world right now. Why? Because China's every single person generating more data than anybody else in the world now. Because America has some restriction because of democratic country, so everybody is very concerned and they have a lot of right here. So that's why they cannot create it as much as data. China is doing it. So China has a more data. China is going faster with the AI, artificial intelligence, than anybody else in the world now. Let's do the next slide. So what is database? Database is a systematic collection of data from the random information. So just basically create the data, then data has to stay somewhere. That is stay inside the database. And inside the database can be that stored, that data could be many different ways. If that data is stored inside the company, say for example, you working in a company, that company has their own server keeping the data inside that server, that is called on-premise. Yeah, that is called on-premise. Like if you have your data inside your company, but that you are working in a company, that company buy third-party data, a server. So that third-party data could be anywhere in the world. That is called cloud. Nowadays, you can see on the right side corner, like AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, those are third-party providers. So you have a company and then your database, you keep it somewhere around the world by buying their service. Like you can buy Microsoft service, so then you can keep your data in their storage, or it means their server. So that is the way people keep their data nowadays, number of way. And then there is a call also hybrid cloud. It could be both, like on premise, and then you buy some third-party cloud with the supplier. And then database could be created also in a very easy way, but is not recommended here. But when we draw the database, usually we show the container like that. So database, database, then you come to, okay, so now next slide. Here we wanted to show that there are many different branch of database of data science. Data science, you are hearing the data science BI, but that inside that there are a number of branches. Okay, so when you say example, look at here, there's a person is doing some ATM machine, he's doing some transaction. When a person do the transaction, that transaction data goes backend database server. So this transactional data goes to the database at that transactional database server. So is this data has to be managed by someone? See, here is a DBA, database administrator, he managed this database, and then database developer who develop those database, and then database tester has to test that database architecture, design those database, and then analyst analyze those data. Okay, so say for example, you went to the Walmart or any big store and you buy some stuff. and then you come home. After 15 days later, you realize one item you wanted to give it back because you don't like it. So you wanted to return it. Once you return it, you go to there. They do not get that data inside this transactional database. Because every night data has to move from the transactional database server, the production server is called, from there to bring it to the storage. Okay, so that is storage data or data warehouse. So that place, that data warehouse, that is called historical data. Okay, so you can see here, I just put it, show here, data warehouse. So data has to move to the data storage. So when they scan your data for return it, you are returning your item, they has to look for in this data storage, because it is already, they move it to the different places, cannot see the same places, that item. So that means what I'm trying to say over here, there are so many positions related to data database. Okay, so that are the production data. But when data comes to the historical data, become historical data, they keep it like a last 10 years of data. So that data has to be also, somebody has to create a report out of it. Okay, so that's called report or dashboard developer. Somebody has to bring those data storage, bring it to the storage. That process is called ETL developer. And then it is called data warehouse developer, data analyst, and then big data SSAS position. All I try to show over here, there are different branch based on the database. Okay, there are some are production data, some are historical data. Okay, historical data also it is called data warehouse. So now, after you know all those data, you know how to handle the data and everything, then you can also do the machine learning. Once you know how to handle the data, then you can use that data for machine learning. Machine learning, I just told you that machine learning data, when you can know how to do that, then you would be data scientist. So all the position is here. You have to learn couple of tools, then you will be able to grow yourself. So I just show over here ETL process. ETL process is like you take the data from the different source and bring it to the SQL server. That is called ETL process. So in the ETL process, there is one tool you use. That tool has to, then when you bring the data to SQL server, in that tool, you clean the data, you merge, you split, whatever need to be modified the data, you do it that way. So it is called ETL, extraction, transformation, and load. And then once you bring the data in a data warehouse, from there, you create the report, you create the dashboard, all kinds of report you can generate from the historical data is called data warehouse. After that, so now say why study SQL database? Okay, in Bangladesh, I think a lot of people learning Python, but why you learning in school, college? They just give you the teach you the school way, because the teacher can only teach you the subject, but what is the implementation in your real life? That is something you can get it from our place, because I have that experience. I work 18 years on different fields. So how it will be really implement and how your resume should be built, and then you can really be successful in your workplace. That is something you don't learn in your school. So here I just, that's why I'm saying that, like, you need to learn SQL also, because look at here, survey says SQL one of the most in demand skill that you find in job description from the data science industry. Whether you are applying for a data analyst, a data engineer, a data scientist, or any other role. So what more in the survey? SQL stand out way above the R and Python, 57% and 54% programming language. So you get the picture. SQL is the must-have skill when you are working towards getting a job in the data science industry. You learn Python, you understand Python, you can do a lot of things with the Python, and then you don't know the data relationship. You don't know how to do the RDBMS, how to relate table to each other. Those are the basic. That's why in this part of US, Canada, or any other country, you know Python, but you don't know SQL, they will be surprised, because those are SQL at the foundation, you know, like you have to have a SQL, structured query language, and then you go Python, and Python you can learn, your base will be not strong. And this part of world is really, these are the most important thing. Let me show you a few things, then you'll understand here. You clearly understand that part. If I go to the Google, okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of website, then you will see when you apply for the job, say for example, for USA, Indeed, see that Indeed is one of the most computer related job. People look for a job in this field. Okay, so this is the website, I just put it here. So if I go here, see this is Indeed and then SQL. If I put SQL and USA and see if I find job. Okay, look at here. I'm just putting in an annotation. Okay, look at here. See, I just put SQL and then USA. How many job you can see? Look at here. Unbelievable. Can you believe this? 184,000 job related to the SQL. Okay, inside this SQL also, if you go through this one by one, you know, that all this position, 184 position, there would be many of the, also you're going to see Python, they are asking for SQL, Python, other things, but SQL has the most job in this data science field, because when they ask for Python or any other tool, they already think that you know SQL. SQL is kind of like a Excel now, getting like a Excel and then Word nowadays, because everybody knows Excel, everybody knows Word. I mean, whatever they know a little bit, but then you already know that. But SQL is become like that. Okay, so that many job is in this field. 184. They really do not get the real good people always in this field. So if I look for the other two countries like Canada and Australia, most job in America actually. So if I say in Canada, this is for Canada, SQL, if you find a job, see it is showing only 16,000 job. So and if you go in Australia, if you find a job, here is showing 6,000. So now you got the idea actually. America has almost 200,000 jobs in SQL related, compared to Canada is nothing, 16,000. It still is because people wise is Canada and Australia is a very less people than US, and but you know, like Australia also 6,000 job right now is open jobs, you know, like it's not like any other field has that many jobs open. So these are the place you can really find out all this job, and you can apply. Even you can apply this job if your resume is looking good, and if you know stuff, you can sit in Bangladesh, you can apply those jobs also. Anyway, so let's go. Okay, so that's why it is to know SQL is very important, and before you learning Python and others. Okay, so here I actually give some statistics. I already show you. I mean, these are statistics, different subjects. I was putting is not not now, it was I did it on the March of that 2001. It is now way high now, because there's a more job right now compared to last year, compared to few months ago. And these are also said in Canada, also said they cannot find out the talent people in this field. That's what she was saying. There is a big gap in this field actually. They are looking for the people they couldn't find. So if you look at here, data related back-end job growing faster than front-end developer job. So you learning the Python or any other Java in the front end, so you work to develop the application, but growing, if you know the data science and then back-end developer, see look how faster it is growing compared to the front end. If you look at the bar, is a 50%, 38%, 32%. Data engineer, backend developer, senior data scientist. These are growing way more than front-end developer. So that's the main thing. So here is I also put some site. Here is Upwork.com. Here also we are planning. You know, like with Bangla Fire, we are planning together. We will create our like Upwork, we'll have our own account, and we try to bring the more work over here. So we try to find out the work, whoever gonna whoever gonna learn this course with us. So we try to put them to in a project. We try to get a projects from abroad, or try to project from Bangladesh, and we'll try to help our students to involve those projects after finishing this course. And we will try to get a Power BI, different project. We have I try to get from the different sector of our Bangladesh area, Bangladesh different sectors. And if we get a projects, you guys going to be involved on those projects, because you guys going to be expert on that once you go through our courses. So as you can see here, the tool I'm shows over here. The first tool is the SQL SSIS. This tool SSIS, actually here it is called ETL process, when data has to transfer from different field to another field. So if you bring data from the different server to bring it to the SQL server, that time you have to use this SSIS tools. So mainly I teach this is SQL Server and this Power BI tools right now, and then advanced Excel, these three tools. But if you learn the SQL, if you learn this SQL, then you are pretty much good with all the other related provider, like a Oracle SQL developer. It's called SQL developer tool. If you learn Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, if you just learn SQL, structured query language, this is common for all the DB2, then MySQL. You just need to learn one. If you learn one, pretty much is cover all. It's just slight different from each other. Okay. Then you learn one of the analytical tools. Analytical tools give you the visualization. So once you learn the visualization, you can also do the machine learning. Python and R also one of those. I'm teaching Python as well. And this Python also. Okay, so what is data intelligence? I already talked about that. Business intelligence is an umbrella term for the technology. Theoretically, this is, you can read these things, but the thing is BI, I already talked about business intelligence. Business intelligence based on make a better decision, make a right decision based on not for instant decision. You take this business decision based on data. That's why business intelligence is very, very important because of so much competition among all these companies. And you can see the growth of your salary grows accordingly. You learn tools one after another. Okay, so here I just try to show the when you write something in your front end application, what happened if it is connected with the backend database? No, it could be SQL Server, it could be any other server. No, so once you connected that through DBC connection, or it could be just code, you put the code. So you fill up your form at the front end, and then back end, it goes into the backend. So it goes, if you put your name as a table format, it goes inside the table. So that table, you write a query and say select all from the table. Then you get this data. You can see into the editor. You can see into that. First, you fill up your things over here, everything, and then it goes into the table. And then if you write select all from employee, you learn the query, and then you will see the table comes over here, and then whatever you're going to write, you're going to see it over here. This is the one is a SQL server. Okay, this is the this is the SQL server. So whatever you do in the front end, it stay in a database. Right here you can see this small database. From this database you can retrieve the data, and you can manipulate the data, and you can do according to client's requirement. You create the reports, you create everything from here, and then you can design that. You can do so many things from that SQL from here. And I also show that if you are working in a company, 4 or 5 people working in a same project, you share the database. No, you share the database. That's how it is. So try to show over here try to understand, but once you take the courses, you will clearly understand. And I'll show you everything based on, I mean, if you have a zero knowledge or no knowledge, I go through accordingly your students' capability. Okay, so here I just wanted to how I teach. Okay, how I teach. Okay, so I already started our last batch, and a few students already taking class. One of the student, I think, with us right now, his name is Badrul. Badrul, can you just say the way I teach? Is this something you can say a few words about the teaching, and then other people can understand how I teach? Go ahead, Badrul.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. যদি শর্টে বলি তাহলে বলা যায় যে হোম টিচার যেভাবে পড়ায় একদম স্টুডেন্টদেরকে, আমি মানারাত থেকে সিএসসি তে পড়তেছি, এটা আমার লাস্ট সেমিস্টার। আর এখানে যারা আসছে ওদেরকে আমি চিনি মোটামুটি, আর আমাকেও চিনে ওরা, বড় অপরা আসছে অনেকে এখানে। তো এখানে যারা মানারাত থেকে আসছে সিএসসি ডিপার্টমেন্টের, আই থিঙ্ক ওরা এটাতে অনেক ইন্টারেস্টেড হবে। স্যারের আজকে যেভাবে স্যার উপস্থাপনা দিল, প্রেজেন্টেশন দিল, আর স্যারের পড়ানোর বিষয়টা তো আমি বললামই। স্যার একদম হোম টিচার যেভাবে পড়ায়, হাতে ধরে যেভাবে পড়ায় একদম সুন্দর করে সবকিছু বেসিক থেকে, স্যার এভাবে আমাদেরকে পড়াচ্ছেন। আর একটা বিষয় আছে যে মানে পড়া তাড়াতাড়ি শেষ করে দেওয়া এরকম না, স্যার আমাদেরকে ধীরে ধীরে পড়াচ্ছেন যেভাবে আমরা বুঝতে পারি, মানে স্টুডেন্ট যেভাবে নিতে পারে স্যার ঠিক ওইটাই করার চেষ্টা করে।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে বদরুল, তোমাকে তো অলরেডি they knows you, so that's fine. If someone think that he is not up to date with the class, so I can even help them separately, so that he can be on the same level with everybody. If you think that okay, you are not, you have less knowledge or less, like, don't shy or don't be worried about that, because like over here in US and Canada, unbelievable that some students I'm starting, they don't even know how to use the mouse, because they never use the computer. But over here, what happened is, here is so many jobs. I just show you, 200,000 jobs. They don't find the peoples. Whenever I take students, they don't know computer at all. So then I give them some basics, and then teach slowly, and they start to get those jobs. So that's why over here, there are so many people at the beginning, they do the taxi driving, do other things, but they come back to this course because they find out that so many people's they are left and right getting jobs. They did not have any background before. So we got all types of people. So it's not a problem for us to teach. Anyone has a, like, is not that up to that labels. Okay, all right. So another tools I teach for Power BI. So you can see over here, the Power BI is the most number one tool in the market right now. So you can see all the tool over here, all the tools. These are all tools actually. These tools is a different company tools. But if you see Microsoft is number one right now on the top. If you see, they put it in the graph, 2017, there is a Microsoft and Tableau. These two analytical tool was number one. Okay, so now if you see 2020, now is Microsoft is really on the top. Then, so that's why Power BI, if someone in US, Canada, in this part of world, if they know only the Power BI, they got $90,000 jobs. So this is amazing in here is right now. So this tool is so important. This is for visualization, like you learn the data, and then you have to put it in for visualization. So that I'm going to give you the 15-minute demo right now. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll show you that. Okay, so here you can see the data warehouse. So I'm taking the data from, it is in my database. I have a data, say for example, I have a world population data. Then I can bring that data to SQL. I can bring this data to SQL Server. I can bring this data to SQL Server many different way. One is SSIS, SQL Server Integration Service. This is one of the process I can use, or I can use import export only through SQL Server. There are a number of ways you can bring data to the SQL Server, and then from that SQL Server you can create the You can create the data visualization. You can do the data prediction. You can create many different reports. This SSRS, this is one of the Brookfield. I worked for 2 years, just taking data and from the SQL Server and creating this SSRS report. Okay, so every company, and that company has thousands of clients, they are making a report for all others company. This is not a single company, it's a mid-size, small, bigger, any company can think of, they have to do the reports nowadays for their business. So these things I wanted to show you this demo. Okay, so I'm going to show you this now. Just go to the Google. Okay. So I can take world population review data. Okay, so this is the data, we can take it, world population review data. Okay, so this is the one, and this data you can see over here. Here you can see the data over here, 2021 world population data. You can see the tables over here. This is 2021, and you can see that China has the highest population, 1.4 billion people live here. India has 1.3. See, 2021, almost 8 billion people in this world. Okay, and they have their, and then this is highest to lowest. So China is the highest, and lowest is a Vatican City at the lowest, and that has only 800 people live there. So there are 232 countries, and there is a CSV file you can download from here. If you download this data, it will be, you can get as a CSV file. What is CSV file? That is comma separated or delimiter separated data actually. So this is the data, it comes in Excel, from the website. We just uploaded here. So you can make this data in a table format. How you can do that? You go to the insert and click the table, and this give you the table range over here. You just say okay. So as soon as say okay, it's become a table. Okay, so this become table. So this is China, India, United States, followed by all other countries and their population, 2021, 2020, and then see, look at this population 2050. They give some prediction, based on their data, they can do the prediction. See, look at here, is something very interesting here. In China, 2021, 1.4 billion, 1.44 billion peoples in China, whereas 2050, and then another like 30 years later is going to be less people in China. See, these are based on that BI, business intelligence, like they can see how their people gonna go less in China. But look at this Bangladesh, India is 1.3 billion, is going to be 1.6 billion. Look at the Bangladesh, it is 166 million, here is 192 million. So these are even prediction. This is called BI, like they can make a prediction based on their data also. 2050. Anyway, so these are the table. This is the table. We can take this data to our SQL Server, and then we can do lot of query, and whatever the requirement, according to the requirement, we can do the query, and then take that query and do the visualization, prediction, take it to the different tools and do a lot of other things from there. Okay, so this is the data. So you just go file, save as, and save it on your desktop. But I already save it, so I'm not going to save it. I have it on my desktop. So what you can do, just you go to the SQL Server. This is SQL Server tool. Okay, I'm just showing this is the SQL Server tool. Okay, and this SQL Server, you do the connection, data engine. You just connect that. Once you connected, you have all this database over here. Okay, so over here you can write a new query. Is simply you just this coding is not very difficult, you know, like a Python. Java is a little bit difficult compared to other coding, but SQL Server backend coding, SQL, this is one of the interesting is last 15-20 years, it did not change. Okay, it is using the same query, and this query is like an English language type query. How to create a database, create database name, and then is anything is like English like language. Okay, is easy. So if you just write create database name WP world population, if you just simply write this query, and then if you just run it, see it says complete successfully. So now if you refresh it, you will see this world P created, database created. New, if you refresh it, see world P right here. Did you see this on the bottom here on the right? World P right here on this corner. See, it is created. This is the database. This is the most thing. All the data now you can think of in this world, you can put it over here as long as your hard drive is enough. Okay, so just right now I created a WP. You can put millions of billions of data, even all data in the world. This is the database you are working actually. So I'm just saying the way there for your understanding. So the database, you know, like depending on the database is a hardware, then this is just one name, you can put everything, but it doesn't work that way. But just I'm saying it. So you can put this is the data warehouse. So this is data. You just created database. Now, if you open it here, there is a node table over here. Okay. So what I'm going to see this table, under the table, there is a node table over here. There is some system table, but we're going to bring that table we have on our desktop. So you just go over here and say task import data. So it is wizard open, is a import data wizard open. So you just go next. What I'm doing is I'm bringing data from the online to our SQL server. That is something I'm doing it right now through the import export wizard. So this is the data source. Okay, data source. What is data source? Our data source is Excel. What is lying on our data on our desktop right now? So you go to the Excel and you browse and give the path to data I have. So world population data. So just give the path over here. So go to the next. So now is destination. Our destination is SQL server. We want to bring this data to SQL server. And then database is WP. We just wrote over here. No? Next, and then go next. Okay, so there are two sheets on the Excel. So I'm just taking raw data. Okay, next, next. Finish, finish. See 232 row transfer. So it is coming from the Excel to our SQL server. So SSIS also another tool which only designated for import export, many different after modification, after transformation, the data you bring it to the SQL server or any other server. So now we bring this data to over here. It wasn't any table over here. So now if you refresh it, so now if you open it, you can see our data over here. Okay. So if you right click here, let me just rename it. So just take these things up. So right click and refresh. Okay. So right click and say 1000 rows. See, you can see all that China, India, and their population, you can see right over here. Okay. So now if you think like if you wanted to do modification, you don't need all the data. What it is, you just delete it over here. So now you can run it, you can see is a less data over here. See? So now if I ask you, okay, what is the max, which country has the highest employee, sorry, highest peoples, which country has the lowest peoples? So in that case, you have to learn how to write the query, okay? Because there are millions of data could be there. So anything we ask you, you will be able to retrieve from there. So say, for example, if I just wrote it over here. Okay, so if I say, bring the max people in the country, which country has the max people? So if you click it here, you can see China has the max people. So it simply is that, okay? So now if I say which country has the minimum people in the world. So if you click, if you run it this, you can see the Vatican City has only 800 peoples. 800 people. This is showing point, but we have to do some modification also to make it to the 800. Okay, so these are the way you do all kind of query in this tool. Okay, so that is the thing you learn in SQL, structured query language. Once you learn that, then you take this data to the Power BI to design the report or dashboard. So I'm just opening the Power BI real quick. So Power BI is little slow, it just takes. Yeah, it just takes a little time to open that tools. So this is a Microsoft Power BI tools. I just showed before. There are Tableau, there are Oracle, Oracle and analytical tools. There are SAP. There are so many prominent tools, but Microsoft this Power BI tool take the market and to take on the top of the market right now, because they are, I think their policy, because this Power BI tools, they're opening two now actually. So this Power BI tool, the desktop version is free. Okay, so that's why people can do the design and everything over here. But once you take it to the end client and give it to the, if you're working in a company, and then at that time you're gonna have to pay. So they've designed such a way so that if it is company, they have to buy the this tool, but that is also is not very expensive. $9.99 only for $9.99 only for one user tool. So that is called Power BI Pro. So it's not very expensive also. That's why it got very good market. So this tool is a Power BI tool. Now, if whatever we have the data in our SQL server, now we can even connect this Power BI and design our reports, dashboard. So these are kind of project we are trying to find out in Bangladesh, because Bangladesh hasn't grown that much in many sector. Whatever we can design, and then we will try to bring the project from any sector in Bangladesh as well. So if you guys are with us, definitely if we get a project, you guys also going to be the first priority to work with us. So if we get data and then SQL Server. So here is the SQL Server. I mean, this tool, you can bring data from any different source, okay? So I'm going to bring the data from the SQL Server. So that means we have to connect the SQL Server, no? So in order to connect, you go to the Connect Data Engine, and then you have to take the server name and put it here. So, okay, you're going to import the data in our Power BI. tool. So here you can see the WP we created over here. See raw data. We are see all the data. You can see as soon as we give the connection, we can bring this data over here. No, so okay. So now you can load the data, transform the data, but there are for different. Different purposes for different so load or transform data. These buttons has a different uses. Okay, but right now I'm just doing load. So it's loading data to the Power BI. This is the Power BI has a this is the visualization side over here, and then there are design and other part, but I'm just going to show real quick. There are some design things over here. Okay, so for example, now we have a data is a world population, 8 billion people in this world, but my like the requirement, the question is asking, okay, can you show me some pie chart or a bar chart, show me the top 10 countries, highest population or density wise, their pie chart, or and those countries geographical location, like 3 different questions is requirement ask you, and then you have to design based on their question. So how are you going to do that? See, there are visualization tool right here. If you click over here, this is the template. It comes over here. So you just bring the data. It's very, very easy, this one. You drag and drop and it will show it will give you the visualization. This one for bar chart. So what we can do over here, you go to the world population, see 2021, we choose 2021 and bring it to the value, and axis, we can give to the name onto the axis. Okay, so as soon as we give the name, we can see the chart over here from China all the way. China, India is the highest, followed by all other countries over here. But if I say top 10 countries, you have a filter over here. So you just filter those countries by, okay, so just bring it to the name over here, top 10 countries. I have to go to the top 10 countries and by values. These are you learn. I'm just wanted to real quick to show you guys. And if I do the by values, apply filter, you can see only top 10 countries. You will be able to see it over here. Okay. So another thing, if I say, okay, density wise, top 10 countries. Okay, so you can bring the pie chart density wise. So we're going to do the same thing, like you bring the density to the value and then name to the details. You can see name to the details. I'm just dragging and dropping. So you can see over here. Okay, so you can see over here. See all the countries, like density wise, their area wise, their pie chart. So now top 10 countries, if you wanted to do, you have to do the same thing. You have to filter that, go to the name, take it to the name. I'm just filtering over here. Okay, just go over here, top 10 countries, just write top 10 countries. And then 2021 value. These are not difficult, but okay. See, if you look at this here now, top 10 country, you can see this is so density by name. You can see the density by name. So look at here, the density, the highest density you know which country is our Bangladesh. See, like number one, density wise, we are our population. Density wise, our population is the most dense country in the world. See, most dense country is Bangladesh. See that you can see. Then it is comes India and then Pakistan. We are three. Okay, and then followed by other countries. You can see right here. Density wise, population. Okay. And then if you ask also geographical location, if I just put the geography, so name to the location. So as soon as I put the name to the location, there is a 232 countries location was showing in this map right now. So now you want to see the size, because which country has the highest population. So if you bring the data to the size, as soon as you bring the data to the size, okay, so when you bring data to the size, look at this, the size, this is the China, then you can see India, okay? And then this is Brazil. But look at here, this is third is the United States, okay? So these are the size wise, you can change the color, you can do so many things. I just, with the short, I'm showing that the data, we bring it to the online and you can do modify and you can do the visualization. Same thing I can do with the Python also, okay? But our next webinar we will do this webinar every month. So our next webinar, I will show how you can do this in a Python, and then or what are the other tools you can do it, all the same type of things. And then slowly we'll do how we can do the machine learning. We put the data and then how you can teach your machine with the data set and then what kind of results you can get out of it. All right, so slowly we'll show everything, but today I just wanted to show up to here today. So okay, so now if you wanted to 10 countries, similar things, okay? You just need to filter that. So what you have to do, you just take the name to the, and then you do the same thing, top 10 countries. And then you take the 2021, you can put it here. See, only top country, India, China, and then India, China, then United States. Okay, there are only top 10 countries over here. So what is this one? Nigeria. What is this one? Indonesia. Anyway, so the top 10 countries, population-wise top 10 countries, geographical location, okay? And then we also density-wise we have shown. So we can do so many. Now we can add to the different page, and we can create a more visualization, more requirement should not going to be 3, it's going to be so many requirement, and we can do that in these tools, using this tool. So I think I wanted to finish over here, is we already take a lot of times, and so okay, so this open the 2 tools here, we don't need that. Okay, so now I think after finish that, the next is conclusion. This would be life-changing course, and you really wanted to grow because all about the data in the future. I wanted to finish over here. If you also have any question, you can write it down. If you want, write it down and give us to us, we will answer also. But if you don't want to ask any question right now, then your all question will be answered. Just you can text us, email us, or like go through our sites and put it data science BD, and then go there, you can write your question as well. Okay, all right, so thank you so much everybody. I'm going to close right now. Thank you. Okay, bye.